Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to talk to you about a medal. What do you think of when you look at this medal? You think of achievement, right? What if I told you that I received this medal by using anabolic steroids? Then it wasn't such a huge achievement, was it? In fact, I think that's a cheat. What do you guys think? I'll leave that open to interpretation. I can tell you this though, and the world of sports is highly competitive, and athletes tend to resort to extreme measures at times. Well, can someone go as far as using anabolic steroids? That's the question at hand today. The use of anabolic steroids gives athletes an unfair advantage over other athletes that don't take it. Ruin accomplishments of nations and people that participate in sports against them, and goes against the rule books, quite plainly. Steroids is an easy way to build muscle, as you all know. How would you feel if you went to the gym every day, worked out, and built a bunch of muscle, and then there's this other guy that comes along and he just builds the same amount of muscle by just taking an injection? It feels pretty unfair, right? Well, that's the unfairness of it. I mean, it's an easy way to boost your own strength and enhance your own strength without really having to do anything. And also in competitions, I mean, it's clear who uses steroids, right? Like, the people who are the strongest and the fastest are not all the time, but you can tell when they're using steroids. I mean, they're just clearly faster and stronger than the others, which are two very important things in a sport. Besides being morally wrong, the use of anabolic steroids is illegal in most sports. It's banned. Anabolic steroids, according to Dr. David Fairchild, their intake is illegal, therefore it gives the athletes an unfair advantage. This means that because they are banned, they give this athlete an unfair advantage. If it wasn't banned, think about it, everybody would be using them, right? And then nothing would be unfair, but because they are banned, the people who use it are giving themselves an unfair advantage. And also, the use of anabolic steroids defeats the purpose of a sport. What is the purpose of the sport, you may ask, of any sport? You may say honesty, you may say commitment, you may say skill, but all of this sportsmanship, it has to do with sportsmanship. How honest are you? How trustworthy are you? How fair are you, especially? I think the main purpose of a sport is to promote fairness among people, and the use of steroids merely defeats the purpose of that. Steroids also have a detrimental effect on the people that are running against or competing in any way against the person with steroids. How many times have you seen our flag, the US flag, fly in the Olympic setting with gold medals and hearing our national anthem resonating in the stand? It's great, isn't it? Now imagine how the athlete feels. Multiply it times 10. It's the greatest moment in an athlete's life. And if you attain it by using steroids, imagine how the runners-up feel. They could have won that if the person in front hadn't used steroids. They've been robbed of that experience. It's robbery. I mean, like, it's just a perfect way to ruin somebody's self-esteem. Being deprived of this ruins national pride and does a lot to again, defeat the purpose of a sport. I mean, it's to see who's really the best, not who can take steroids the best. In conclusion, I think that steroids are not merely applicable to these three areas individually, but they can be summed up to have one great detrimental effect on society and sports in general. The use of anabolic steroids serves to sort of change the character, change the face of a sport from one that promotes honesty to one that promotes deception, cutthroat competition. And also the ideal of having to actually work hard for something in a sport, it's just thrown down the drain with the use of anabolic steroids, I think. Well, anabolic steroids can serve to mold an athlete's nature from one of a person that's very trustworthy to one that is a usurper, one that receives what they don't deserve. Well, I can tell you this. One way to eradicate the problem of anabolic steroids is to crack down on them harder, to make more drug tests. Test everybody if you can. I know it costs a lot of money, but we need to know we need to find out who are the cheaters. And I think cracking down would pretty much eradicate the problem of the use of anabolic steroids. Don't just let it happen, guys. I mean, it's just promoting a very dishonest society, I think. And that's it. Thank you, guys.